Our commentators in Lucerne, Martin Cross and Gary Herbert.
Final of the men's Coxless 4. We're into the second 500 metres in lane 1 Netherlands, lane 2 Germany, Australia in 3, Italy in 4, Great Britain in 5 and Norway in lane number 6. Great Britain led for the first 500 metres but not by very much.
Shot there of Matthew Pinson, stroke of this crew, and behind him Ed Coe, the man who is shrouded in controversy. Really won't he take Tim Foster's seat? And in their accustomed position at first, but not looking too comfortable with the rest of the field on their heels in this second 500 metres. Steve Redgrave probably going to call a push at 750 metres coming up like he did in the heat, but the Australians ominously quick at this stage over there in lane 2.
So Great Britain lead now through about the 750 metre mark. Steve just talking to the crew again, just keeping them relaxed, making sure they're long. He does the calls and he also steers the boat. He's the main guy that just keeps the crew relaxed and into the race plan. Close to the picture, lane number 6, the Norwegians. They were the crew that pushed the British in the semi-final yesterday. So in the final of the men's at Coxless 4 at halfway, Great Britain first, Norway second, Australia in third position. Great Britain are in first, but not by very much. They've been pushed in the first 1,000 metres, and they were pretty much level with the rest of the field at 500. But look at this, in lane number 6, the crew from Norway, the crew that pushed them in the semi-final, only a matter of feet down. This is very, very good now for this crew in lane number 6.
Yeah, the Norwegians actually have a more smooth technique than the British four, who mainly rely on their power. And I think the British were really wound up to beat the Norwegians in the semi-final yesterday. And really, they're having to work too hard, I think, at this point in the race. Too hard for that sort of slender lead they've got. This isn't the confident British four we've seen all season. There's a real race on here.
Again, look at this, the words. You can always tell the British boat, yeah? Steve, if Steve's looking around left and right, if he's talking, the more he talks, the more concerned he is. Now, obviously, he wouldn't admit that if we were talking face to face, and I wouldn't ask him about it. But this crew, this British boat, are no doubt are under pressure. The Norwegians in lane number 6, smooth and relaxed, a matter of feet down. Up there in lane number 3, Australia, Stuart Hansen, Dodwell and Stewart in the stroke seat, piling on the pressure. And let's not forget the Italians, third in the World Championships in lane number 4. They were third last year.
And Matthew Pinson there, he's really hanging on. He's really dying at the moment because they haven't pushed out anything like the amount of Norway that they want to. Ed Coe, relaxed, as impassive as always. That's why he's in the boat. And James Crackler there in the bow seat. Come on, he's really hanging out, shoveling some water down. He knows that there's a race of this season on for him. They've never been pushed this close. And the Norwegians moving back on them every stroke. New crew this year. 2 men from the double scull. Couldn't make selection in that event this year. They've come out into this 4 and they're moving through. It's the first time that Redgrave has been led this season.
So it's level, it's stroke by stroke, and who's looking the better? To my mind, the Norwegians close up look smoother, they look longer, they just a little look to the right. Yeah, we've got you, that's what they must be thinking now, and they're just ahead. It's a matter of feet. The British boat now must respond. Matthew Pinson, Coe, Redgrave, Cracknell now have to start to increase as we move to the last 250 metres.
And Redgrave never likes to call anything before the last 20 strokes, but he's going to have to call early because he knows that they're going to lose this race unless they go now. And Pinson has got it in him to wind it up to 43, 44, but Redgrave's got to call it soon.
150 metres to go, a foot in it. Here go the British boat, now they're level. What are Norway going to do? They have to respond. It's level as they go through the last 75 metres. Last 50 metres, Great Britain just inching ahead. We'll get a wide angle camera view, but it's just going to be on the line. It's going to be a matter of feet between the British boat. Matthew now, last few strokes, up the rate goes. Can Norway respond? It's just on the line, and it is just Great Britain. But how very close, Martin.
Oh, that was just a fantastic race. Do you know that's Matthew Pinson that's won that race? That was a fantastic last 20-25 strokes. He doesn't really like to do anything before he has to, and Steve Redgrave looking there as if, well, he hasn't done anything, but really they had to work so hard for that race. And Matthew Pinson, little thumbs up. I think that race go was a little too close for comfort for what they would have liked.
The mark of the professionals that they are in the boats, that they kept it cool and relaxed in the last 250. But Ed Coe, a little smile on his face there, a certain individual out in the grandstand. There's confirmation. Great Britain won, and look how much, by not very much, over Norway. Australia in third place.
And you know what, if Tim Foster was watching this race, I think that he'd be very pleased at that, because they really had to struggle. And of course the question is, would there be a difference? Would they have been further in front if Tim Foster was in that boat in the 3 seat ahead of Ed Code?
Well, Martin, now you know that it's selection date on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. I should imagine there'll be a huddling of coaches over the next couple of days, starting tonight at the airport. But something has to now change. Something has to think, well, is Tim going to come in?
Edward Cruz and Matthew Kenton.
So the gold medal goes to Great Britain. A very, very tight victory being presented there by Mike Sweeney, the chairman of Henley Royal Regatta. Relief all round, relief on the face of Redgrave, Pinsent, Code and Cracknell.
Matthew Pinsent treated us to the race of the regatta there. Tell us about the view from the stroke seat.
A little bit nerve-wracking, obviously, in the second half. We knew it was going to be a close race. I'm sure we thought both Italy, or all of Italy, Australia and Norway were going to be challenging, and as it turned out, it came down to a shootout between us and Norway in the last bit. But we rode pretty well. I mean, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10, and it was obviously the right result.
Yeah, but it's not the sort of race you like, because you like to be in control, and the Norwegians actually got through you there, didn't they?
They did lead at one stage with about probably 400, 300 metres to go, which isn't part of the plan, needless to say. But you have to expect these things. It's been a learning curve all the way through the season. We obviously raced them the last World Cup in Vienna, and we had a run in with them there. So we knew that they were capable of those kind of things, but we also knew when it came right down to the wire that we could out-sprint them, and sure enough we did.
I have to say your sprint finish was particularly impressive. What did Stephen Redgrave say at that particular point to make you go in the way you did?
Well, I can't remember. I think it was just a simple case of getting ready to go and then just calling one particular stroke, the simple word go. And everyone in the four knows what that means, and we all knew the situation. We were very calm as they came up level with us, and we could all feel, and we discussed it since, that they were working very hard for the position in the race that they attained at that stage. And so, as I said, when it came down to it and we put on our sprint, that we knew we could win it from there.
Now, of course, the Norwegians have only been together for 4 weeks, and one would expect that they would improve and perhaps get a little quicker. Where does that leave you? What can you do now to improve between here and the World Championships?
Well, we go away for a training camp on Thursday of this week, go away to the mountains, do altitude training for 3 weeks, and then we go across the Atlantic and have another training camp in Canada just prior to the championships. And I think the Norwegians will figure fairly prominently in our waking dreams and our sleeping dreams, and we'll make sure that come the World Championships it's the same result again, maybe a different method.